Why do you think it is that we wait until the last minute when things actually are falling apart? And we're always, I'm fine, I got this, it's okay, I'm doing great, I'm fine. Why do we do that? Why do we do that to ourselves? I'm not sure. Let me lift this up a little bit. That's one of the things Lynnette and I, after Steve passed, and it's now been 17 months, strange. But I realized for years, the years preceding, he wasn't super healthy, and I was competitively, I bodybuilt and was like since I was a sophomore, just into bodybuilding and very doing like incredibly athletic, doing all kinds of things, and I just when Steve wasn't doing well, I literally stopped. I didn't stop because I've rebounded and I've done something that I got certified in called eccentrics, and I did some of the exercises and other things, and I still do them every single day. I move my fascia every single day. I get down on my mom. I'll tell you a story about my mom. My mom, when she was just a little bit older than me, she said, and she said, this is about exercise movement, and she said, Linny, look. And I was at her house, and she got down on the floor, and then she started getting up, and she said, isn't that great? Or she said something, and I was like, she had gotten down on the floor, and then she got up, and I was, what? Like I was, did she find something? Did she do something? And she said, I got up by myself. And I was like, what are you talking about? Of course you got up by yourself. And I didn't realize how we can lose function. I mean, I know people had, but I was in my 40s and I had no idea why it was such a big deal. And but when I saw that she had lost function, and then I every day after that, I was going to say something else, but every single day after that, when I started thinking about that, I got down on the floor and got up every single day, every single day. I've been doing that for years now. And because when I saw like how at her age, I think she was 65, that she was having a problem getting up. And I'm very close to that age. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I've been doing that for a long time now, getting up. And I see when people, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. And I used to laugh at that. Many people used to laugh at that, and it's not a laughing matter when it happens to you, and when to a parent or someone, because we lose that ability. And so this whole story is, my stability moment was 2 weeks ago. Lynnette and I, a little over 2 weeks ago, we were just talking about our health and how we still are doing the best we can and all of that, but it's not where we want to do it. And we said one thing, and in life coaching, for my clients, it's like baby steps. Like, do one thing just to get there, because you might have a goal in the 8 areas of your life and overall, but in order to get there to that end goal, you got to start with a stepping stone. You have to take one step, then another step, then another step, and then you get there. Or you choose that's no longer a goal, or however you want to do that. But to getting healthy and feeling better, we need a stepping stone, one thing. So we started just one exercise, even if I'm doing my eccentric stretches or moving the fascia or something, just on a regular basis. I'm not doing 30 minutes at a time or an hour at a time, like keeping my body. I'm getting down on the ground, I'm doing the primal squat, I'm doing things that I do every single day. But that wasn't, I wanted more like some actual exercise to tone my legs and do some other things. And so I don't know if you've heard of Suzanne Summers, but she had something called Thighmaster a million years ago. And I got one for Lynnette and myself. We've had them around for a long time, but a couple of years ago, I don't even know where ours went, but I got, well, many years ago now, I got one for each of us. And so every single day we've been doing that. Like we do 50 because Suzanne Summers said 50 a day of each one. There are two different ones. And so we do that every day. That was the one thing for the first week that we would do, in addition to the other things, like she walks and does other things. And so that was the one thing. And then for the next week, it was like, let's add one more thing. So then it was eat something healthy. And so whether it be a salad or a banana or just one thing. So it was the stability moment for me was, I'm not where I want to be health-wise. Lynnette and I had the conversation. So that's what we did. It wasn't a life overhaul. It wasn't waiting until we fell apart. It's not waiting until I can't get off the floor as I get older, or that we get sick, or any of that kind of stuff. It literally is before the storm. That's when we decided, let's start getting ourselves healthy. Let's do one thing and then let's add another thing. And it could be like for 30 days, that's what you do. And then, however you want to do it. But it's just starting and doing one thing without doing like 27 things all at once. Because it's almost like, man, you get sick or something happens and it's like, I have to turn it around. I got to turn my life around and start working out, or start focusing on my finances, or so it's the health or the finances, or my relationships going to crap. It's one thing. It's like ask the hubby on a date, or do one nice little note, or for the wife, or what, for a relationship, or for a sibling, or whatever. One thing, and just be consistent at whatever it is that you are wanting to enhance, make better. And so that's it. Why wait until it becomes a problem to address it? That's really what the stability moment is, and rather than recovering from a storm, something that's bigger. And some of the most powerful stability moments, they happen before a storm, because I don't think anyone wants to come from behind. I know I don't, but sometimes it takes a storm and and coming from behind. I mean, I've had many myself. So really for us, it's not a dramatic moment. It literally is, let's do one thing at a time and not have this dramatic transformation. I would love to have a dramatic transformation, and yesterday we talked about a dramatic transformation, but that's been years of rewiring my brain. If you go to yesterday's video, you'll hear how a person that we know in the family, or whatever of the family, used to be part of the family, and was just what happened with me and how I handled it, and the rewiring of my brain, and the stability moments, practicing stability moments, humongous transformation that unless I had been tested, I would have never known. So now I don't want to test my health. I've already done that, by the way. I had 8 years, as I've shared before, of a fallow time in my life where I tried many times to commit suicide, and during those 8 years, and had immense issues. And I was coming from behind in order to get healthy. I don't want to, I'm not going to ever be there again, but that's not something that I want to participate in. And so I want to start. That's why Lynnette and I, one little step forward to our longer term goal, like out there of vital health. So that's what we're doing. When we're not paying attention to our lives, it starts falling apart around the edges. And we can see it and we can feel it, and it's like, I'm fine. When people say, how are you doing? Or, and it's like, fine. We're also used to, it's fine. Is it fine? Is it really fine? Is your health fine? Are your finances fine? Are your relationships fine? Are those things fine in your life? If they are, you go. but these are things that need to be constantly nourished and paid attention to. So it's funny, I have my little notes here on my computer, but it's the when we drift when we don't have something as a priority. In life coaching with my clients, I have them, we do 3 goals every week. I call it, it's active goal setting is what we do. And we go through like what it is. First of all, in the very beginning, it's like, these are the 8 areas of your life, and what are the goals? Like, actually know what they are. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you got there? I love that, because it's true. How do you know when you've arrived if you don't even know where you're going? Like, if you have a trip planned somewhere, say you're going to Disneyland in California, or spa, better. You and I, we'd go to a spa, right? You and me. So we're going somewhere to a spa, and if we don't map it out, how are we going to get there? We're just going to end up there. We'll go here and there and everywhere and not get focused and not have intention or any of that. That's our finances. That's our health. That's our relationships. What are we doing with that? And it's just a little less self-care, a little less focus, a little less energy put into that, and then that's when things can it's like, how did we get here? Like, how did it get to this point? So that's why I wanted to talk about that today. So I'm gonna, and you don't transform. This is the thing, like in life coaching and really just in anything, and we all know this. We all know what to do. We just don't do it. And I'll tell you why we don't do it. I was going to say, why don't we? It's our programs. That is rewiring the brain and to focus on things. This is why the life coaching with rewiring the brain, this is why I will not coach anyone who doesn't rewire their brain, who's not actively daily rewiring their brain, because they won't go anywhere. They will have some success and they will make some progress, but those default programs, they'll default back to them. And so I'm not going to work with someone that isn't rewiring the brain so that that success is not just permanent and lasting. When I say permanent in rewiring the brain, I mean lasting. You can always rewire your brain to wherever you want. So to whatever you want, whatever programs that you want. So that is why doing the one little thing is going to be not transforming your life overnight, like to get to those 8 areas of your life, the big goals that you want, but taking each stepping stone, the stepping stone on a path. Think of like a little cottage with these stepping stones, so cute and quaint and cozy. And it has little stones, and you got to get to the house, to the little cottage. And in order to get there, you take one little step, then the next little step, and the next, and the next, and the next, and then you arrive to your goal of getting to that cottage. And the same thing of you and me, we're off to a spa, and we've got to know where we're going. We've got to make the reservations. We need to actually drive there. So we need to have our map and know how we're going. Where are we turning? Are we turning left, right? Are we going through to another city? All of that. Are we flying? How are we getting there? But we've got to go from A to Z, however, and get there. And it's the same thing in life. If we literally look at it as the stepping stones, then it's not this huge big deal. It literally is just start and take the next step and the next step and the next step. And it sounds so basic, and it is, and it works, because then it's not overwhelming and you're not transforming your life overnight. You're returning to who you want to be, or you're working towards what you want to become or how you want to become, or any of those kinds of things, one step at a time. And that's how you get there. So here's your self-talk for today. I don't have to change everything today. I only have to take one step at a time. I don't have to change everything today. I only have to take one step at a time. And you can change the word have, because I have to, that's like I have to, I want to. I use with my clients, I want to, because when you want to do something, it's like, oh, I get to do that, rather than I have to do that. It's like, I have to make my bed, I have to get that journal entry, and I have to do this thing for work, I have to make dinner, and it's heavy, it's like a chore. So it's like, I get to make dinner tonight, I get to, or I want to, like, it's my choice to create a nice dinner tonight. I get to do that. So then it becomes like an honor, or something that's easier to do. So that's really what I wanted to talk about as your stability moment today, because that was a stability moment. We're moving towards week 3, and it's like, well, what else are we going to do? That's what we were talking about. I'm like, okay, let's do that for a stability moment, because 2 weeks ago it was, oh my gosh, I'm not really healthy. I don't feel that vitality and that energy, and I have a lot of energy, and I could feel like not right there, and not wanting it to sap away. And Lynnette said, let's just do one thing this week, one thing. And so we got our Suzanne Summers, and it's, for me, it's 100, and she does 50, every single day of the 2 different ones. So I'm doing 200, and then now eat one thing. So, and it's like, what are we doing this week? And I thought, now that's a stability moment. That was a stability moment, 2 weeks ago. So wanted to share that with you. And that's the story. So I hope you are enjoying these stability moments. Please share them if they've been helpful. You can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything. I believe in you. You can do this. And we will see you for, today is day 81. We will see you tomorrow for day 82 of Stability Moments. Love you so very, very much. As always, shining my light to brighten yours. See you tomorrow. Ciao.